Hey guys, welcome to another Gauging Gadgets Garmin video. In this video, I'll be doing a full comparison between all the different models for the Vivomove 3. There are actually 4 different models available, and they include different features and sizes, different things like that, and it's actually pretty confusing. So hopefully this video will help you decide on the right Vivomove for you. Real quick before we get started, check the description because I'll have affiliate links down there for all the different models for the Vivomove on Amazon, and please use those links if you'd like to support me. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with a model overview of the Vivomove 3. All right, so as you can see, there are 4 different models for the Vivomove 3. You have the Vivomove 3S, and that's going to be $249. You have the Vivomove 3, $249 as well. Then we have the Vivomove Style, and that is going to be $299 to $349. And then finally, we have the Vivomove Luxe, and that's going to be $499 to $549. So we have 4 different models, and we have a pretty wide range of prices here, anything from a low $249 up to more than double that of $549. All right, so moving on. Now, one of the big differences between these models are going to be sizes. You have 3 different sizes. The Vivomove 3S is going to be a 39 millimeter watch right here. As you can see at the bottom, I've included the full size, including the thickness and also the circumference of the wrist that it will fit, and the weight, because I think that's important when you're choosing a watch. You want it to be comfortable on your wrist throughout the day and also while you're sleeping if you want to use the sleep tracking. The Vivomove 3 is available in a 44 millimeter version, and that's going to add about a millimeter with the thickness and a little bit less than 8 grams to the weight. Then we move over to the Vivomove Style and the Vivomove Luxe, and that's going to be a 42 millimeter watch with the same thickness as the Vivomove 3. Now, when it comes to the sizes here, I prefer a bigger watch. I do have larger wrist, so a 44 millimeter, that's probably the smallest I would want to go. I currently have the Phoenix 6, which is around 47 millimeters, and the VivoActive 4, which is 46 millimeters, and I think that that fits my wrist very well. As you can see here, the Vivomove Style and Luxe, because of the differences in the material that they're made out of, they come in different weights, anything from 35 grams up to 42 grams for the Vivomove Style, and then 55 grams up to 86 grams for the Vivomove Luxe, so it can get very heavy there. All right, moving on from the sizes, we have a quick comparison between the build and the features of these 4 different models. So as you can see here, the Vivomove 3 and the Vivomove 3S are going to be kind of a less expensive version of the Vivomove. So they're going to have a stainless steel bezel, a plastic case, so the body of the watch is going to be made out of plastic. The band will be silicone, and then the lens covering the watch face and the display is going to be just a normal glass. Now, one thing I did want to point out between all 4 of the different models, they are going to all have the same battery life of 5 days in smartwatch mode, but if you put it in watch mode, you get an additional 7 days for a total of 12 days. And again, that is going to be the same for all of the models of the Vivomove. Moving on to the Vivomove Style here, you get an aluminum bezel with an aluminum case, and then the bands could be anything from silicone to a woven nylon, depending on the addition that you get there, and I will have pictures of those later on in this presentation. One important difference from the Vivomove Style and then the Vivomove 3 is going to be Gorilla Glass Class 3, so that it will be a stronger glass that will not crack or break as easy and might be a little bit more scratch resistant. So that is pretty cool. Additionally, you get Garmin Pay, so you'll be able to pay for items with your watch alone, kind of like how you can use your iPhone or your Android phone to pay for things at the store. You'll be able to do that with your Vivomove Style. Now, moving on to the Vivomove Luxe, you're going to have a stainless steel bezel with a stainless steel case, but the lens is going to be a sapphire crystal. And this is something that's also available on the Phoenix 6, so it's a very high upgrade. This will make the lens almost scratch resistant, but it does add a slight amount of glare. It's just a little bit of a trade-off. But basically, you're not going to be able to scratch the lens on that watch. Now, this one does include Garmin Pay as well. Now, one of the biggest differences, as you can see here with these watches, is going to be the actual smart display built into them. So let's move on to the next slide. 2 different displays. So as you can see right here, the Vivomove 3S and the 3 are going to have an OLED display. And that's going to be this little display down here, what will show your running activity, the time, date, any notifications on your phone. It's going to show that information in this little small area right here. As you can see, the display size is going to be 8.9 millimeters by 18.3 millimeters with a very small resolution, and it does not contain any color. Where if you get a Vivomove Style or Vivomove Luxe, you get a color AMOLED screen, and that's going to be much larger. As you can see, it's on the top and the bottom right here. and it's going to be a larger display of 24 millimeters by 18.7 with a much higher resolution, and it does include colors. So let's move on and take a closer look at the display on the Vivomove 3 right here. So as you can see right there, it does have a little bit of a fuzz to it. It's similar to the Vivomove HR, which I had, and I did enjoy that watch, but the display on it for the smart features was a little bit lacking in my opinion. So if I move on to the next image, you can kind of see what it looks like with the heart rate, and it gives you your 7-day average for your resting heart rate. And then with notifications, you will be able to read text messages, you will be able to read your emails, but it's just going to be in a very small screen, so about 3 lines, and you will be able to scroll down to view more of that. If we move on to the Vivomove Style or the Vivomove Luxe, you can see the display is much bigger, it's much clearer, and it looks better. If we move on to the next image, you can see the color there. So this is a gauge with heart rate and activity right there. And then if we move on to the text messages, you'll see you're going to be able to see more of your notifications on one screen, so you won't have to scroll as much, and it looks like it's probably a little bit easier to read the text. And just want to point out, this is that nylon braided band as well. It looks really good in my opinion. So those are going to be the 2 different displays on these watches. That's one of the big differences there, and probably the biggest reason for the price differences between the Vivomove 3s over here and the Vivomove Style and Luxe. That's going to be your biggest difference in my opinion. So now we've gotten through the big differences between all the models. Now I will focus on each of the models and kind of show you what is available there and also the price. So as you can see, the Vivomove 3S is $249. It has 4 different models, and it's basically just going to be color. All 3 of these are going to have the same bands, the same lenses, and the same weight of 38.6 grams, but it's just going to be different colors for the bezel and the case, and then also the silicone band here. So really this is just going to be a style preference. Moving on to the Vivomove 3, you're going to get 2 different models out of that. Again, this is a $249 model, and both of these are going to also have the same weight at 46.1 grams. And really, it's just going to be on style and the way that it looks. So you have a gray version and then a black version. Now, the biggest differences are going to come in the next 2 models, which are going to be the Vivomove Style. So you have actual differences in prices here. So we have 2 models that are $299, and these are going to be 42 grams. They come with the silicone band right there. And then the rest of it's just going to be for a look. So you have the gold and you have the silver. Then moving over to the $349 models, and you have a nylon band, which is going to drop the weight down to 35 grams for both of these. So that's a very big savings of around 7 grams. Definitely noticeable when you're wearing it. And then on the left side right here, we have a light gold and then a graphite. I think that looks really cool right there. Moving on to the Vivomove Luxe. Now there are actually 6 different models for the Vivomove Luxe. So these are the first 4, and these are all going to be $499. And also these are all going to weigh 55 grams. So just something to keep in mind. Now you do have some 24 karat gold, and that's just a coating on the stainless steel, so it's not a solid gold. Then you have some silver, and one thing to keep in mind, all 4 of these have an Italian leather band, so that's going to be a very nice upgrade from the style right there. Moving on to the higher priced Luxe version of the 549. As you can see, these are going to be both 86 grams, so very heavy. That's actually heavier than my Phoenix 6, which is a 47 millimeter watch. Now, both of these, the bands are going to be Milanese, so it's kind of that like chainmail kind of look to it. And then first we have a stainless steel on the left. Very cool looking, I think. I've never been a fan of that band though. And then you have an 18 karat rose gold. And then the band is also rose gold as well. These are both going to be $549. All right, so that was a quick overview of all 4 models for the Vivomove 3. Hopefully this helps you when you're trying to figure out which Vivomove to purchase. It is pretty confusing. If you have any questions about the Vivomove 3 or any of the models, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you'd like to see more Garmin reviews and tutorials, check the links in the description. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel, Gauging Gadgets, more gadget reviews and tech tutorials. Thank you so much for watching.